Welcome to episode 41 of TerrorVision Horror Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dan McGuinness, and joining me on my midnight train of terror, destruction, and carnage is my co-host, Jennifer the Dream Warrior Strand. Toot 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 toot. Every week we take one horror movie and cut it to pieces with our internet microphone words. Together we are two people with a love of horror, and we feel the burn of our obsolete Blockbuster / Movieland / Alpha Video memberships. I'd just like to thank all of our listeners who support us over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and the YouTube. We love you. Thank you very much. And if you ever follow us over there, give us a subscribe, give us a review, give us a comment, give us a bloody anthrax in the mail, and we'll love you forever. Actually, we'll be dead, so that'll be cool. So that will be forever.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was an intense starting.
That was a mouthful, and you got it all out in one go. I'm super impressed.
I am psyched. I just smashed the coffee. So, fun facts about us for this week.
Yeah.
Oh, man, my fun fact. At the ripe age of 43, I have just started painting for the first time Warhammer figures.
That is very exciting. So we've had a couple of off-air conversations, as we do, because we're friends and we hang out. And you've been telling me all about it, and you are just so excited.
I am. I've watched hours of YouTube videos on how to paint. I gave it one go when I was younger, back before YouTube. That gives you an idea.
Yep.
And I didn't know how to paint them. I basically just made a marshmallow blob of paint on a stand because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, you've dipped it in the bottle of paint, and there it is.
Done. But now, there's so many YouTube videos of that. I've just been because I thought to myself, I know how to draw. I know how colour works. I do layer digital stuff with my children's books. And I thought, mate, it can't be much harder than that. I mean, it is hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to... I actually think I insulted the guy when I bought some stuff the other day because I was like, it can't be that hard. It's just this, and that, isn't it? And he's like, oh, it's a little bit harder than that. And I looked at all these wicked ones in their window and I'm like, man, where do these come from? He goes, oh, they're all mine. And I'm like, oh, man, you're just fully into this. He goes, oh, yeah, I've been painting for about 25 years.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, dear. I'll just buy my things and leave now. See you around. Anyhow, I'm just getting into it. I've gone full hog, balls deep into this shit. I've got a mate, and he's getting into... I got into it because my mate was getting into it. And I'm like, yeah, let's get into it. I'm not playing Warhammer per se. I'm actually playing a thing called Kill Team, which is like a scaled down Warhammer where you just have 5 little models against 5 little models in a very small board, and the games take half an hour, which is what I like. And that's it. That's my fun fact about me, which is a very ripe fact. It
is ripe. You the level of excitement that you have had in the last 2 weeks has been great.
Yeah, to paint a tiny little figure.
That's
I've always wanted to have a painting kind of skill. I've always tried colours, watercolours and that. I'm okay at them, but I never got that vibe of wanting to do it, where this has that you want to hang out with your mates and paint and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's cool. It must be very relaxing as well. I know a few people that don't play, but they paint just to relax.
Well, I first got the idea for doing it when I built my big Lego car the other day for the first time, and I realised how much that relaxed me.
Yep.
But then I'm but it only took a couple of hours, and Lego's so big, and I don't want to buy hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Lego kits because I don't want to actually store them or have them.
And Lego's super expensive too.
My dad was like, why don't you just pull it apart and make it again? I'm like, that's kind of not how it works in my mind because I didn't know what it was going to be like at the end. Anyhow, what's your fun fact, Jen?
Okay, so I, as many of you may or may not know, I did university. I have a journalism degree, and I was almost at the end of my honours anyway. But during my journalism degree, I did my work experience at Film Inc. magazine. So
shit! What did you do your thesis on?
I wrote my thesis on Scream.
As in the horror movie?
Yep.
So you actually did a horror thesis for your whole life. So you remember at the start of the show we used to say we have no credentials? Yeah. You fully do.
Yeah, I've got some credentials.
You dickhead.
Some credentials, no confidence to back it up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I have the opposite.
Yes. You've got credentials. You've got a lot of credentials and you've got a lot of confidence, which is, it balances us out.
Notice how I made that comment come back to me and how good I am?
You are great though. But yeah, so I went over for about a week to Sydney and I did some work experience for Film Inc. magazine, which, I mean, you'd all know is a great magazine for Australia. This was back in 2011. I got to interview Dileep Rao, who was in he was in Avatar, which I fucking hate. It took all my passion and strength not to, just ask him.
Smash him?
Just ask him if James Cameron was an absolute dickhead. But he's in, what's the one? Drag Me to Hell. He's the shaman guy from Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah. He's a looker, eh?
He is a bit of a looker, yeah. And in the end, I've had some work published on their website. I had a review published in the magazine. And at the time as well, this is like a great, this is who I am as a person. They're like, you can go and review this really good, like fancy independent film that's getting all these really good reviews, or you could review Brainiac, which is a terrible like Mexican film from 1968.
You did Brainiac, didn't you?
I did Brainiac, yeah.
What was the other film? Saw?
I can't even remember what it was. So yeah, that's my fun fact.
What was the other film?
I can't remember.
Oh,
This was
man.
back in 2011. So
I wonder if I was working on that film.
Oh, see, credentials.
Ooh.
Credentials.
Nah, I've only worked on like 2 films. But it could have been. Not many Australian films are made.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, there you go. That's great. I Filming magazine. I remember that. What was the other one people used to get? Movie?
Yep, movie and
Is Movie Australian as well? That would all be. Like most magazines we get in our news agents are just like Australian press, I always assume.
Yeah, well, Empire was because there's an Empire America and then there's Empire Australia,
Yeah,
which
that's what
has
I mean.
recently shut down. And I'd just like to state here clearly that the people that run the Australian one were a bunch of assholes.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
On that note,
Anyway.
let's move on to our spoiler cast. Yes, every week Jennifer and I set ourselves a horror movie to watch, and then we go through it scene by scene and spoil the fuck out of it. It's basically the whole premise of our podcast. It's a deep dive into glorious gore, hard edits, cheesy acting, directing madness, severed wangs, and compound fractures.
Do you know,
Welcome.
every time anyone now, like there's a few people I know, Dion being one of them, anytime he watches anything or certain people watch things, they message me to be like, oh, hey, I just watched this thing, and there's like wangs in it.
Oh, yeah. So
You know.
people now just go, oh, look, a dick. We better call Jen.
Dicks and
The
compound
Wang
fractures.
Busters?
Yep,
Who are you going to
that's right.
call? Jen.
Jen. I don't know why.
She's not interested in wangs, but
I'm not.
You do, maybe you like the idea of wangs being severed.
Well, it's more an idea of they're
You
letting
can just
me
fuck
know
off and go,
to
never
let
come
you
near me
know.
again.
Because everyone knows that you're interested in severed wangs.
It's true. It's not the best thing to put on my resume, but it's fine.
It's all good.
And what's our rating system?
All right. So for those of you playing at home, our rating system is A, awesome, everybody should watch. B is our beer and chicken wing group movie. F is for fun and dumb. C is a classic that's worth a watch. U is underrated. G, good for its time but has not held up. We've got the J, Jen special. The D, Dan special. We've got a W, which is whatever, so off my radar. We've got the Kesha, a low-budget hot mess. And the cream of the crap, the McConaughey.
Cream of the crap.
Yep. Which is the fucking fucked.
Yeah, the worst film.
Yep.
It's weird because it's got a vibe of worseness, but you understand. If you ever see Texas Chainsaw Massacre New Generation, you understand that's where that came from.
Yep.
Let's go on. So our movie we watched this week was My Bloody Valentine Day. Just in time for Valentine's Day, which has just gone on the past Sunday.
Yep.
This is actually, we're recording this before Valentine's Day, so it's all like, it's future us.
Yes.
It was from 1981. So
Yeah.
this is the same year as Evil Dead, and 1 year after Friday the 13th, part
Yep.
1.
Same year as Friday the 13th, part 2.
Oh, yeah. So that gives you a bit of, I always like to do that. Like what kind of, it gives you a vibe of what level of filmmaking and skills are out there at the time. So this film was up against my favourite film, basically.
Yeah. So this film came out around the time where everyone was just cashing in on that slasher thing. And they were basically, they were up against the MPAAA. They were like fighting for just distribution rights. They were fighting to keep titties and gore and everything in these films. But they're basically just cashing in.
There was no boobs in this film.
There wasn't. The film's R-rated in Australia for sex scenes and nudity, and there was no sex or nudity.
Maybe it got cut
And
out.
if it was, they weren't doing it right.
Yeah,
So-
bloody idiots.
But yeah, it's very exciting because this is literally they're celebrating its 40th anniversary.
Oh.
So 40 years old, My Bloody Valentine. Crazy.
Yeah, I saw when I watched it, you know how it comes up with like the actors that are in it and stuff. like the main guy, TJ, now his profile picture is this gnarled old dude with a giant moustache. He looks like, Chris Christopherson or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, that's not the guy. At least that means, but usually though, I always figure, when you see those actor profiles and it's still their young picture, it means they've done nothing.
That's exactly right.
Where if there's an old gnarled picture, it means they've been working the whole way through and their profile keeps getting updated.
Yeah.
And then there's the actors that don't have a picture. They did one go.
Yeah. Well, hey, that would be me. If I was ever on there, it would be me.
Oh.
I'd be okay with it. All right. So it's directed by George Mihalaka. Have I just butchered that?
Go for it.
As I get really high in my voice. Screenplay is by Stephen Miller. He did the concept, and John Beard. It stars Paul Kellman, Laurie Hallier, Neil Affleck.
Is that Ben Affleck's dad?
It is not. I did look into it, but no. Alas.
Well, who would have thought that?
Budget of $2.3 million and box office of 5.7.
Still okay.
So it was considered a failure at the time, but also they made money, so whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a failure to me. That's like, maybe they wanted to make maybe they were expecting like a Friday the 13th, $60 million or whatever that was. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone got paid and everyone made some money. You had enough to make another whole 2 versions of the film.
Exactly. It's fine.
It's how it goes. It's how
Perfection.
Big business.
Yeah, so it was filmed on location at Sydney Mines in Nova Scotia. And so they actually did film them in the mines. So when they're in the mines, they're in the mines.
Yeah, well, there are some bits in there with like the mining gear on the things that are up. We'll get to that later. Where I was just like, I feel this is a mine because no one would have who would have thought of doing that? You know what I mean?
No.
And who would have set up a mining cart thing and all that crap like that? They would have had to have spent double their budget.
Yeah. No, exactly. So let us get into it.
What's the synoppo? Oh no, what's its little
tagline? Cross your heart and hope to die.
It's pretty good actually.
I love a tagline. 20 years ago in the sleepy mining town of Valentine Bluffs, a fatal mining disaster occurred on Valentine's Day while some of the crew was decorating for a party. The sole survivor of the accident killed the remaining crew members and warned the town not to celebrate Valentine's Day again. When a group of teenagers decides to defy the order, a murderous maniac in mining gear begins dispatching townfolk in bloody and creative ways.
Pretty much the whole plot.
That is literally the whole plot.
Okay, so it opens up. The film just starts. I don't think it had much credits per se. It's one of those films where it opens up with the opening scene and just has the credits overlaid over just the opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have its own dramatic Hellraiser.
Which I'm okay with. I like them to just get into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't like to have to sit and watch a bunch of credits at the beginning.
It's true. So it opens with some miners in a mine shaft. They're miners. They're walking. It's dark. They've got lights on. They're underground. They're walking around.
Yeah.
They're just, just mining life. The simple mining life.
Yep.
Mick Thomas would make a song about these guys if he needed to, which he has.
Yes. It's 2 miners walking through, and then they stop. One of them removes their mask.
It's a babe.
It is a sexy blonde.
Well, hang on. There are no women in the mines.
No, there's no women.
They specifically say that later on, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Who's this babe? She takes off her mining gear, revealing her brassiere.
Yes, her brassiere. And very terribly done heart-shaped tattoo on her chest. The other miner who has a pickaxe
does not disrobe at all. He's still got his and these miners. All these miners wear gas masks because they're in
it's like
lime coated.
Yeah.
They need to wear gas masks down there.
So he's there as well. He's not getting out of his outfit, and he's got a pickaxe. He digs it into the wall, and he kind of starts
They start to get frisky.
They do. They start touching each other.
I like the way that she, the gas mask has a tube coming down.
Yeah.
She grabs the gas mask tube and strokes it like a dick shaft and all this shit. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? Do you know what? Even though I've watched this whole film, I still don't understand this scene.
No. So yeah,
This
we get
is
this
to get your teenagers
This
in.
is essentially just a really weird sequence of her touching the mask and him refusing to take it off. But you can hear him because he's got that very Darth Vader-esque breathing. He's starting to breathe heavier, and he's kind of like he's getting a little bit excited.
But he's still not taking his mask off or just getting his wang out.
Yeah, so he's like at this point where his breathing's like real heavy, and he grabs her, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, shit's about to get real, and it does, because he grabs her.
Now, first he goes crazy because
Yeah.
he sees a tattoo of a love heart symbolizing Valentine's Day on her boob. That's what it was. And he goes like, Valentine's fucking Day, cunt. And yeah, he grabs her.
Yeah, and he just like rams her right into the pickaxe, which he
Oh, is that what it
conveniently-
was?
It was a pickaxe.
Oh, I just called it a spike.
Oh no, because he had
yeah,
the axe
yeah.
and shoved it in the wall.
He rams her through it. We see it come out the front of her, which was kind of
This
cool.
was really cool because initially it hadn't come out of her chest. All you could see was
A lump?
the lump of it and then it sort of cut back to the. She lets out like this blood curdling scream, and then it sort of cuts back to it, and you can see it's all like.
Yeah, this
open.
film wasn't afraid to show bits and pieces of the gore
No.
when it showed it.
Yeah.
He did a couple of... We'll get into that.
Yeah, and then
we'll get into that.
it cuts immediately to this animated title sequence, My Bloody Valentine.
Like,
I really like that sequence.
And it was one of those things where they'd obviously dug her, like it was a full fake body and her head was on the fake body, so they could, it looked really real because you could do a wide shot seeing the spike coming through her whilst her head was on it and screaming, which is, I'm always a fan of that shit.
Yeah,
I love
was
that.
good with it. It looked good.
And then, so that's it.
Yeah.
And whilst this whole sequence is going, there is like, title cards. There's like credits coming up of who's in it, which I didn't read because like there was shit happening on screen.
And
Anyhow,
also there's like no one of note in this film.
hard cut to Thursday, February 11th.
12th.
12th.
Yep.
In the mine shaft. We're back in the mine shaft.
Yep. So the mining carts are coming up. So it's clearly cut off shift change. So the miners are coming in. Miners are getting ready to go out.
This feels like a different day, a different
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So this isn't anything to do with that
This
first
isn't
thing.
sexy time. This is work time now.
Well, this is like not even in that time.
No.
We don't even know when that was. We don't even know who that was or anything.
No. We're
This
okay.
is yeah. I think that was just a cold opening just to show that this is a horror film.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of burly men.
Yeah, it's a ragtag group of miners.
They're like, they're laughing, they're paying each other out, they're fingering each other's bums, they're hitting each other with...
finger popping each other's assholes.
Yeah, they're basically Aussie rules football players.
Pretty much. So we cut to the shower room, the locker room.
They're showering.
They're having some man talk in there. We're getting... there's a reveal that one of the guys he'd previously left. He'd quit mining, he'd gone off somewhere else, and he's now back, and he's not really happy about it.
Is that... We're talking about TJ?
We're talking about
CJ?
TJ.
TJ, yeah, the main character.
We also find out that there is another guy now dating his sweetheart, and he's pretty sore about it.
And his name, up to this point... Oh, so we're just going to throw this out straight away. No one's names are said in this film in the last quarter of the whole film.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of names thrown out here and there, but I really
TJ's the only one I caught.
didn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
So we shall once again be referring to them in very lovely, endearing terms.
So what did you call the new boyfriend? I just called him boyfriend.
Yeah,
His
think
name's Axel. Should we call him Axel?
I refer to Axel as Studs McKenzie.
Studs McKenzie. I'm down with that.
He's blonde, he's blue-eyed,
Yep.
he's a bit of a stud.
Anyhow, they're all showering still. They're washing all the soot. The black dust out of their hair. This is like a full... this is a real mining complex. This is like an actual mining shower they're in. They're all, let's go. And then they're like... Then they all get out. They get dressed and they're like... Last one in town gets the bruise. And they're like, oh no.
So everybody mad dash to the cars and they're all like, oh, gotta get this. Is like fucking...
They all run out. And then this Dukes of Hazzard, actual Dukes of Hazzard music starts... Dun, 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 dun. All the... afterward, the boys are back in town.
That should have been that.
Yeah, they all drive into town. It's just like, I was actually... Two things in this thing.
Yeah.
there's a party in this thing. I actually thought the party was an actual cool party I would have gone to.
Yeah, probably.
And yeah, them partying, going to the pub and that. I was like, yeah, this looks legit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
probably because it was a mining town that they're doing it, and probably a mining pub.
Yeah, well, they also, part of this filming process, they were hoping that this film would like bring a little bit more tourism to the town. It did not.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Come to our town. Get killed. As they're driving into town, they're both, yeah, fuck yeah. We can see there's Valentine's Day parade decorations fucking all over town.
Yeah.
Like, they have gone ham on these Valentine's Day, whatever's happening. So, obviously, because it's a couple of days before Valentine's Day, 2 days.
Yep. So, yeah, they all rock up. They pile into this hole. It's not a pub. Where there's just a group of very attractive young ladies, all decorating for what we assume is going to be the Valentine's dance.
Yeah, I fully thought they were going to the pub and like blowing off steam. No,
Well,
they were
that's what
going
I
to a
thought.
hole to decorate a Valentine's Day dance.
Sure.
They all burst in, though.
Yeah,
They burst in.
they do.
They're like, babes, we're here. all
Lady-
of them kind of pair.
Lady dudes.
All of them kind of pair off
Yep.
into like girlfriends and boyfriends, except for TJ.
Yeah.
Who I'm gonna call
up
CJ.
until the point where I started referring to him as TJ, I called him the broody miner because he was literally just walked in and stood in the corner with a beer. And
You know
just
that what
looked-
makes him wicked? He wears an unbuttoned shirt, kind of, with a kerchief.
Yeah.
The whole film.
And I don't know if you noticed that unbuttoning just gets more
Lower
unbuttoned.
and
Yeah.
lower and lower. So you can
Oh,
imagine
yes.
he's like a brown-haired Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Pretty much. He looks like an actor whose name I cannot quite put my finger
He
on.
looks like Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
Yeah, he
he's-
does.
No.
No, the guy that played Joker. What's his name?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I reckon he looks like he could be his brother.
Yeah.
Just imagine Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't want to.
You
But
don't want to?
I will think of the guy.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, they all pair off except for TJ, and he just kind of like sulks in the corner. He is Brudo at this time. As I said, he's
Yes.
come back to town. We never find out why.
No.
But his girlfriend, who he used to be with, and it sounds like he bailed real quick. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So outside, we're introduced to a new character, Mabel, which is a delightfully sort of older woman, probably in her like.
she is, from what I gathered, she is the assistant to the mayor.
Yeah, assistant or wife. I wasn't 100% sure on this.
No, because she later sends the sheriff a Valentine's Day present. Do you remember?
I do remember because I have some thoughts about that.
Oh, you reckon they were cheating?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Oh,
Intrigue
maybe
in this
that was
tiny
a
town.
red herring to like of who is the killer. Like that.
Yes.
Anyhow,
Anyway, so Mabel and a gentleman, they're walking up to the hall. They're talking about that this is the first dance in 20 years. Like
the other gentleman is the
it's
mayor.
very
We can say
exciting.
that.
He is the mayor. I did
I've
not
just called
know
him
this
the
at
mayor
time.
the whole time.
Yeah, same. They open the door to the hall, and as they open the door, one of the guys, he's covered in some kind of ketchup or something, paint.
I called him Joker. He does have a name, but they don't say it till right near the end. But he just keeps playing pranks on people.
He does.
Oh, right
I
up.
kind of called him Goof Troop.
Goof Troop,
Yeah.
Screech, any of those kind of characters. He's one of those dudes.
Yeah.
He's thin, he has brown curly hair, he plays jokes, and doesn't have a girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's the door is open, and
He doesn't care though, because he's married to comedy.
He is married. He's married hard. It's deep. So he frightens Mabel. She falls down the stairs in fright, and
Sheriff man's like, "What the fuck are you doing, you idiot?"
yep.
We have to emphasize more about how they said, like, we haven't had a Valentine's dance in 20 years.
Yes.
It should be fine. You don't think you're going overboard, Mabel, with the decorations? Like, it will be fine.
Yeah.
And I feel that Mabel hasn't been in the town for very long. Like, she doesn't care that much about what's going on.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. I think she's just very excited. I think she has just been caught up in all of these young people's drama and young people's desire to have Valentine's dance that she's like, you know what? We'll do it too because now I'm part of the cool gang.
Yeah.
I'm
And now
guilty.
TJ just bails.
He does.
As soon as the mayor gets there, he kind of just bails. He's kind of broody. He,
Well, the mayor's his dad.
Oh.
Did you? Because the mayor and him and the mayor have like this little bit of a standoff, and he's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going off to get a beer and have a good nose pick," and he just sort of talks about, Studs McKenzie brings up that TJ's back
Studs
in time.
McKenzie has stolen his girlfriend. We should bring that up.
So he's moody about that. But he's also like, you know, he's back in town. He's not happy about it. And the mayor's like, well, as long as he's here, he'll be, you know, my son will be working in the mine. So he does sort of.
Oh, that's why he's back in the mine. Yeah, right.
Yeah, we get that moment.
And if you want a vision of Studs McKenzie, he's basically a Nazi postered boy.
Yeah,
He's blonde hair, blue eyes, big jawed. Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah. Dirk square jaw.
Then we're still in the hall, and then the chief of police rocks up. I just called him the sheriff the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the sheriff of the town. He comes in. He talks.
Didn't even see him come in either. He was just there.
Yeah, he comes in. He talks to a couple of people, and then he leaves.
Yeah, he leaves.
Which is the main goal of the sheriff in this film. He just comes in, has a small conversation, and then just leaves. And then the mayor leaves as well. And you're like, why did you guys even come?
No. So Mabel, the mayor, and the chief, they leave, and Goof Troop, he notices a heart-shaped box that had been left for the mayor, and he grabs it and he runs out. So he runs out to give it to the mayor. He's like, oh, look, you know, this was delivered to you. Here you go. And
yeah, because traditionally, on Valentine's Day, you get a heart-shaped box full of chocolates. So he goes, here, sheriff. Is it sheriff?
He gives it to the mayor.
He gives it to the mayor.
Yep.
And then the mayor and the sheriff both drive off together in a truck, probably to make out.
Yeah, so they, you know, they're in the truck and he's like excited about the candy. He's like, oh man, like, you know,
fucking candy.
What's better than Christmas candy? Valentine's candy. And he's like, he's eager to get into it. And then, so he sort of opens it up.
While they're driving along together.
Yeah. So there's a note attached. So from the heart comes a warning filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happened as the 14th draws near.
Oh, shit.
Like,
I know what you did last Valentine's summer. And what's in the box, Jen?
Well, he opens the candy box to reveal a bloody human heart.
Now, and this is the first of many reactions to everything in this film. Every actor is a fine actor. Yeah. They seem fine until they have to react to gore or violence. And they are hilarious. He's just like, oh no, oh no. And he goes, it's happening again. It can't be happening again. And he just kind of puts his hand on his forehead. And the cop just keeps driving and just keeps looking over like, oh, heart.
Yeah, it's like that's not chocolate.
No, oh no. So I actually laughed out loud when I heard his reaction. I was like, does he think it's a human heart or what?
Yeah.
Or does he just think it's a prank? Like,
it's funny because like this is the one thing that, you know, when you and I have caught up throughout the week, you're like, man, those reactions, they're fucking gold. I'm like,
and then in tradition of the sheriff, as he does in this whole film, he chucks a U-bolt and goes, so this sheriff just goes back and forward between places, doesn't drive the plot forward at all.
No.
So he does a U-bolt, and I can only assume that they're going now to, in air quotes, the lab to check out what this heart is.
Yep. I thoroughly enjoyed the random doggo that was just chasing the car as well.
The dogs later on, there's a bit I talk about.
Yeah.
I think there's a mad doggo in town.
There's a couple of mad doggos.
So then we cut to the pub. Now, obviously everyone's finished decorating. They're all at the pub. You know, they roll into the pub. Everyone's drinking. And they're like, yeah.
They're so manly that they're playing the knife game.
From Aliens, that Bishop plays.
Yeah, the duk, duk, duk.
And if people don't know the knife game, it's when you put your hand on the table and you get a big Bowie knife and you go between your fingers and you see... They're doing it not looking.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because no one can do that. Not even Bishop, the synthetic humanoid. He had to look. Anyhow, they're playing that. You know, there's bloody, you know, they're all partying. It's actually a cool pub. It's like a nice country.
It looks like a pub.
But then
that
we
I'd
come to the
hang
bartender,
who is
like the traditional. What is it called? A warning dude.
He's the warning guy.
You know, like don't go, you'll be doomed.
Bad things are coming.
And he starts singing a song.
He does. He regales us with a tale of Valentine's Day. So it gives us a good old rundown of the history.
It's basically what happened 20 years ago. And I didn't catch it. And, you know, montage over... He's not even doing this to anyone. No. He's just singing it to himself. Montage over all these fucking teenagers partying in his pub, you know, making you money.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, you'll pay, you can't. And, like, you know, the guy stabs his finger playing the game, which he stabs it all the way through with a giant knife and just goes, ooh, and it sucks it. Just sucks it. That's
I'm
all
pretty
you
certain the knife.
And then
that
everyone
would've gone
laughs
in.
at him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
studs.
that's stitches.
Yeah, so the bartender's given us this huge rundown.
There's also a flashback.
So it is a flashback of everything that happened.
It's a montage flashback, forward flash of what's happening. It's a cacophony of editing.
Yeah, so it's basically like the last group of miners. There's an explosion, and one of them stuck in there. He is also a cannibal, by the way. At one point, he's eaten someone's arm.
Okay, what happens? I can explain this.
Yeah,
if you want.
you go.
So 20 years ago, on Valentine's Day, when everyone was having a party for Valentine's Day, a bunch of 5 miners, an explosion happened in the mine. They got trapped, and instead of getting saved, the people of the town partied and kissed. Anyhow, by the time they worked out, the miners were down there, and they got them out. All the miners were dead because one of them had gone crazy and eaten all the other miners. Harry Walden. Harry Walden. And then they just go, and now he's gone. You can only assume he got put into jail.
Yeah, so But
he vowed that no one is ever allowed to have Valentine's Day ever again. And for 20 years, they have not celebrated Valentine's Day until today. Anyhow, that's it. And that's like a montage with him singing it over the top.
Yeah, and then Harry Warden killing some people and all this stuff.
Yeah. Then Harry went crazy and killed a whole bunch of other people. It has like some random shots of a guy getting pickaxed in the chest.
Yeah.
Like in his bedroom.
He takes revenge on the guys that weren't there. They cut off early and didn't pay attention. That's why they all died.
And he killed everyone the next Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So it's only on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
He cuts out their hearts and he puts them in heart-shaped boxes. And I suppose that's why that guy was like, it's happening again. Which was there's some great samples in here if you're ever doing synthwave music.
Oh, yes. So, Goof Troop pops up and he poo-poos it and everyone laughs at the bartender. The bartender's absolutely not happy by this. He's like, fucking kids will never learn.
Well, he's fuming. He's like, if I was 20 years younger, I would fucking fist your ass, mate. That's what he's like. He's fuming to himself. He's not voicing his opinions. He's like, you fucking punks, I will fucking eat your dick.
Well, this is not good for customers. This is not good customer service.
Lucky you're the only place in town that serves booze. All you'd have to do to be successful in that time is just open a nice pub.
Yes, that's right. Just across the road.
But this one does have skee ball, which is pretty wicked.
It does. So TJ and...
then everyone just pisses themselves laughing at his story.
Oh, yeah. They laugh at him. They're not happy.
You're a dickhead, mate. You're a dickhead.
So TJ and his sweetheart, who her name is Sarah. We don't really get that until a little bit later on. They're making fuck eyes at each other from across the room.
Even though she's with fucking...
with Studs McKenzie.
Studs McKenzo.
So he's hanging out at the jukebox and she's like, I need to go play me some Journey. And she gets up and, Studs is like, where are you going? She's like, oh, just to play some music. So, she's going over there to have a bit of a conversation with TJ and not
her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Not Studs McKenzie.
No. So cut to the morgue. We're in the morgue.
But first, that's kind of like they have a chat.
They do.
And then he just kind of just says some dick things. And she's like, and I was like, why did she even like him? Why does she like him?
He just states some stupidly broody man statements. And
then he just bails on her.
And leaves.
He's like, fuck you, you're not my girlfriend anymore because I bailed on everyone with no explanation.
That's right. TJ needs a bit of a kick to the dick.
Hard cut to the lab, which I can only assume is a lab.
Yeah.
We have the cop, we have the mayor, we have the sheriff, and we have this new lab character, which is totally out of place.
Oh, his acting... superb.
I know.
So they're on the phone to the asylum where Harry Warden is being kept. There's no answer. No one's there. Why isn't anyone answering? This is bad. And meanwhile, the
lab man.
The lab man comes in.
It's definitely a female's heart.
Probably around the age of 30. That's fine.
Look at this. I can use it as a puppet. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, don't you remember the Valentine's murders? And he just goes, oh. Yeah, those were terrible murders.
Yeah, the thing that shaped our whole town and our lives for the last 20 years. I had forgotten about that.
I remember that. Vaguely. It's in the forefront of my mind.
And then there's the wickedest line. When he says, it's a female human heart, that I think it's the sheriff just kind of looks at the camera. He doesn't look at the camera. He's like, looks like Harry Warden's back in town. Bomb, bomb, bomb. That's the end of that.
Yep.
And then we cut to a point of view shot of a lady doing the laundry. It's Mabel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Mabel.
Of Mabel doing the laundry at the laundromat.
It's Mabel's laundromat too.
Oh, shit. She
owns
owned
it. Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So she's in there. She's finished. There's decorations
I think
everywhere.
it's after hours.
It is after hours.
Because she was like the main instigator of decorating the town. Her laundromat is very decorated, and the killer does not like decorations.
I don't know if we picked up on that, but yeah, the killer does not like decorations.
He doesn't like the chaos of decorations. Yeah. He may be related to Leviathan. He could be one of the...
Quite possibly. So we get this POV, skulking footsteps, the Vader-esque breathing again, and, it's looking in on Mabel in the laundromat. She ducks out in the back room.
He goes in.
He opens the door.
He puts a box of chocolates, heart-shaped box of chocolates, on the bench.
He does. And then conveniently backs off behind. So you see it. And I like this one as well because it's like we've still got this POV shot of him walking up and placing it on the counter, but then backing behind a corner. So you know exactly where he's gone.
Like he can't teleport like Jason.
No. So he's hiding, and we know that he's hiding around there.
Anyhow, Mabel comes out and goes, "Oh, fucking chocolates. I love chocolates." She gets out, and there's a note in there which reads,
"Roses are red, violets are blue, one is dead, and so are you."
And she's like, "So romantic." No. She's like, "Woo?" And then all of a sudden, the lights.
Yeah, this is like perfection as well. So there is a jump out, and, killer jumps out.
No, first the lights go off.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lights go off in the thing. She's like, "What?" And then.
Yeah. Jumps out. Chase ensues.
Yeah. Harry, who we can only assume is Harry.
Yeah.
Because Harry jumps out. He attacks her. They have a bit of a...
they
bit of a rub and a tickle.
Yeah. They have their little thing.
And he holds up... You see him, hold up his pickaxe. And then you see him swipe down, but it's an off-camera kill. So we don't see... It just kind of cuts, with the pickaxe going down. Hard cut to the next scene.
Yeah.
Of... I just call them the gang. So when I mention the gang revolves is usually Moustache Man, who we haven't explained yet, which we should have actually.
Yeah.
So Moustache Man is my favourite character. He is a husky man. Mm-hmm. He's quite big. He wears a trucker hat. He has round rimmed glasses, if you can imagine this. But what makes him distinctively awesome is he has like a curled magician's moustache.
Mm-hmm. It's mighty.
It is very on trend for now, as in for
baristas,
not baristas, a barber shop kind of moustaches. Those dudes that are into moustache. But he is the most endearing, nicest character.
Yeah.
Even though he is obviously the bigger character, the fatter guy, he has the one of the prettiest girlfriends in it. He's nice. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
And he's
the
he
first
also
to
kind
break
of
up all the fights too.
Yeah, he looks after the whole gang.
Yeah.
And I loved him. I wished he was the main character.
Same.
Anyhow, so we got Moustache Man. We got, I think, maybe Ralph Macchio. What's his name? The old guy?
Studs McKenzie. Yeah. And Goof Troops.
Isn't Ralph Macchio, isn't that Karate Kid?
Yes. Because you've just been watching Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So they're all huddled around an
wrecking
engine.
yard.
So they've got the car is on, the motor is running, and they're cooking something on the motor.
Is that what they were doing?
They were cooking.
I thought they were just talking about car shit.
No. They were cooking something on the motor.
Because maybe it's just a cool, let's go down and cook a snag on the old engine block.
Sure.
You can do that. We
yes,
used to do stuff like that where you wrap a potato in Alfor and you put it in your engine on a long trip, and then when you get to the end, the potatoes are cooked.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now that I'm saying that, I can't even think where you would put them, though.
No, couldn't tell you. I'd put it in the microwave, but that's just me.
And now we get a point of view shot of someone stalking them from behind the car. It's looking at them. Hang on, who were the three people that were there?
So you've got Goof Troops, Moustache, some other guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of some other guys in this film that don't have a name and they just
we can just refer to them as kill fodder.
Cannon fodder.
Yeah. So they're huddled around, and then we get this Studs McKenzie. He's sitting in the front seat of a car, and he's playing the harmonica.
Yeah.
He's having a right old go at it, because that's what you do in small mining towns. And all of a sudden, a bottle of Jack's is being handed to him.
And he's like, "Oh fuck!" And we realise that the point of view shot was not Killer; it was actually TJ.
Yeah.
And he gives it to Studs McKenzie. So him and Studs McKenzie used to be best mates, I feel.
Yeah.
But now Studs McKenzie has moved in on his girl
after
he's down, and they've kind of got a bit of beef.
They do, yeah.
Like they don't want the beef, but it's just there's just beef. You can't get away from beef if there's beef.
No, we know where it is. But they get in the car together, and they start jamming on their harmonicas, and they're having a right out go. And this is like a bit of a bonding, like, oh, maybe, instead of throwing some dick measuring, we'll harmonica it out.
Yeah, it is the most traditional way to solve an argument, having a harmonica off.
Yep. They start playing the harmonicas, and they start having a bro talk. So they start broing down about TJ leaving, and coming back and thinking he's kind of better than everyone.
It all disintegrates. It all falls apart. It just turns into an argument.
Yep. Yeah. So they definitely start to like, well, we got a problem here. What are we going to do about it? And as most men do.
So TJ's like, back off.
Yeah.
From my girl, and he goes, it's not your
He's
girl.
like, you left. She's not your girl anymore.
And he goes, oh yeah, ask her, as in like. That's the deep cut that does this. He's basically saying that she loves me now and she's going to come back. I didn't have to do anything. You're just a dick getting in the way, which is a dick move.
It is a dick move. But yes, as most conversations, it resolves into a fight. Like, this is the only way we're going to figure it out. Let's just punch each other.
Yeah, boof, boof, boof.
Yep.
They're fine.
Until Moustache Man comes.
Moustache Man comes and basically picks them both up and separates them.
Yeah. He should have, cracked their skulls together and just,
He should have sent them to their rooms.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's over.
Yeah.
Hard cut. Friday, February 13th.
Oh, it's Friday the 13th. Convenient.
I know, that's what I thought as well.
Convenient.
Everyone conveniently gets killed by Jason before the other guy gets... And then we can have Harry versus Jason.
Well, it's true, because Paramount released both of these films.
Because this would have worked, because Friday the 13th and 14th, this could have worked. Day before, where he's like, Harry's setting up all like the kills, and then Jason comes in and starts fucking up the kills, so they have to have a fuck off.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyhow, that title card, hard cut to Friday, February 13th.
Yep.
And we're in the sheriff's office, and he's calling what we can only work out is the records lady.
Yeah, so he's basically on the phone with this asylum that Harry is meant to be in, and he's talking to the record woman, and she's like, there is no record of this guy ever being at the asylum. Like,
what do you mean?
What do you want from me? Like, I've told you no. You've got the answer. You don't like the answer. All I can keep telling you is no.
They're like, where is he? We need to know where he is.
And then she's like, well, I'd have to go check the microfiche, but that'll take a couple of days. He's like, I'll be waiting for your call.
The microfilm.
So she's like super pissed that she's going to have to do that. So he hangs up the phone. He's like, sits there and ponders a bit. And he's like, maybe we better cancel the dance.
Yeah. Hard cut to two girls. Is it Sarah and Patty?
It is Sarah and Patty.
Hard cut to Sarah and Patty. Sarah is the girlfriend that everyone's fighting over. Patty is Moustache Man's girlfriend.
Yes.
They're walking down the street. They're being ladies.
Uh-huh.
They're talking about getting banged.
They are. They're talking about boys.
They're talking about who's going to get banged by who? I'm going to take all the dicks. Sister, I'm going to take more dicks than you. Anyhow, that's all they're talking about.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then that's it.
That is. It was just a random scene of the girls talking about boys.
At least they're trying to give them some depth, unlike Friday the 13th did the other week. Like, trying to give them, like, these are real people. They're trying to go for the Halloween vibe, but no one's nailing it. No one nailed the story, like, the character development like Halloween. Yeah. Which is why Halloween is so great. Like, I was enjoying the film before the killing started in Halloween. With this one, it's the opposite. You're just waiting for the killing.
Yeah. Yeah. We hard cut. The chief arrives at the laundromat. He's there to talk to Mabel. But Mabel, she's not there.
Mabel, where are you? Not at your own establishment. Anyhow, he's like, it's like dark in there.
He's walking around
because all the lights got broken, and he's finding all these upside down hearts. Like, so all the decorations were hearts in there, and now someone has turned all the hearts upside down. Maybe he was like trying to develop the Bamagram.
Maybe.
He's in development.
So he's walking around, and he's just such a great cop that he just sort of misses the bloody dryer that's sort of happening in the background behind him. And he's walking around. Instead, he's picking off all these upside down love hearts. And he's like, he kind of smells something a bit off. And it's like, nothing should smell like this in a laundromat. It should all smell fresh. He opens the door and there's like clothes. He
sniffs some undies.
He's sniffing some undies.
He's
and
like,
then all of a
gonna
sudden...
come back here later and do this again.
All of a sudden, one of the doors pops open.
To a dryer.
One of the dryers pops open, and a very burned Mabel kind of half pops out.
This is like a
amazing.
cooked corpse. For some reason, she was naked.
Yeah.
Maybe he did her laundry in the other one. Maybe he thought, well, I don't want to get these clothes dirty.
No,
like Harry's like, I may be a killer, but I'm not an animal.
Yeah. She's probably going to be buried in those.
I have high, clothes etiquette. And she's in this. So this corpse falls out of this dryer, which is going, and it just keeps spinning around
still going
and getting
around.
dumped around, and it's like it's all red and bloody and melted, and its eyes are kind of popping out, and it's just getting thrashed around and around this like the doorway of this dryer. 'Cause it's only half out and half of it's in there.
Yeah,
and it just looks
it's so
gross.
Good. I liked it.
But have you noticed in this film that every time there is any gore on the screen, they cut to a different film stock?
Yes, I did notice that.
Which I think is Super 8 they cut to, which has like a higher exposure. Which at first I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. But as it went on, it just kept going. And I'm like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Is it because... I was thinking maybe they wanted to feel like it was the old 20 years ago happening again. Like, 'cause it's an older film stock. It looks like a grainy, older film. And at first I thought, oh shit, are these deleted scenes that have been put back in there? Because sometimes that gets done and it's a lower grade film.
Yeah.
Or they haven't worked on it enough. Like,
well, because there's because I obviously posted a picture on my Instagram, and Audio Blood, he commented, he's like, oh, is this the uncut version? I'm like, I don't think it is. It doesn't say uncut on my DVD. So it could have been an uncut version where they were just putting this stuff back in.
Yeah, because there were some quite shocking shots. Like, but what the other thing I thought is, like, if they'd cut all those shots out, there wouldn't have been anything.
No. Well, a lot of it was cut. Like the MP, AAA or AA or whatever. The
dickheads.
Yep, the
dickhead patrol.
In America, they were basically like cut everything. Like you couldn't have sex, you couldn't have nudity, you couldn't have this, that, and the other.
They cut all the sex out, which I'm completely fine with.
You're always fine with that.
Yeah, I just don't want to watch other people bang.
No, that's fair.
Anyway, Mel's in the dryer. It looked fucking great. And the cop reaction is just so good. Can you remember what he did in this one? He was just like, oh. Yeah. I think he just put his hands on his head and just kind of went, oh.
Yeah, he's just like up against the dryer. And
it goes for ages. Like,
it did go on.
Oh my God. There's a lot of that. It's amazing. Anyhow, cut to the gang. I think that this is the next day. The gang are all at work. I can only... it's Friday, isn't it? So they're still at work. They're mining.
Yep. Studs and TJ, once again, start having it out.
They have a fight at work. And I think Moustache Man comes in and breaks it up.
Yeah, he's like, not in my mind.
It's what I do.
Yeah. And that's it.
And then we cut... Yeah, that's it. You guys have still got beef. Who would have thought they'd still have beef? Then we cut back to the laundromat. The cops are there. Everyone's there now. Like, it's a crime fucking scene.
Ambulance is there. They're, loading up Mabel. They're about to take her out the front. And I think it's the mayor. He stops them and says, no. All right, everyone here, the story, she died of a heart attack. You need to wheel her out the back. We're going to hide this from the town. She died of a heart attack. End of story. So anyone who... gets this information.
They just don't want to cause panic or anything, because it might not be Harry, but they know everyone would probably jump to the conclusion it's Harry, even though clearly it's Harry.
Yeah. Before they wheel her out, he's like, "Oh wait, what's that?" He spies a note in the chest cavity.
Yeah. He just goes, "Oh, yeah." They're wheeling Mabel's body out on a morgue cart.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, mate, what's that?" He just reaches into her chest cavity and pulls out. What is this Valentine's Day?
Like,
maybe it's for me.
A note. And it
maybe
reads,
Mabel is my box of chocolates. Anyhow, the note reads,
it happened once. It happened twice. Cancel the dance or it'll happen thrice.
Amazing. I love this note.
I love the notes.
So do I. Notes. And they're like, but what should we do?
Yeah. And then he's just like, basically, he's like, shut it down. Shut it all down. We're going to take down all the Valentine's decorations. We are going to cancel the dance. It's not happening. Shut it down.
Why did we let Mabel talk us into this? I'm glad she's dead.
So then, yeah, rocks up. The kids are outside of the hall. They're trying to get in to finish the decorations. And the chief's standing there. He's like, it's done. The dance has been cancelled. Mabel has died. She had a heart attack. No dance, no parties. That's it. And they're all like, oh, well, we're young and we're not going to take no for an answer. So.
But then we cut back to TJ finishing work, and Axel and him, what's his name? Studs McKenzie, Axel McKenzie, they're at it again. And, and one of them's like, we got unsettled business.
Yeah. But TJ's like, nah, I got business elsewhere, mate.
I got about fuck this shit. So he runs out. He basically runs into his car, into his big, cool green car, which is a wicked car, and he burns off. And then he burns off down the road, and he goes and picks Sarah up from work.
Well, picks up from work.
Forcibly
kidnaps her, because she did not want to go. She's just like, nah, I don't want to go with you.
And he's like, get in the car.
And he's just like, I don't care what you want. Get in the car.
Yeah, I don't understand his relationship. Maybe it's just mining town talk.
Maybe.
He kind of forces her to come with him. And then they go down to the beach for their special spot.
They do.
Do you remember the spot? Of course I do.
It's where we banged for the first time in the sand.
And then we get this, why didn't you call? You left without a word. Why didn't you come? And then all of a sudden he's like, I just had to leave. There's some hard acting here. This is like
Meanwhile,
Bold and the Beautiful.
In my notes, literally Bold and the Beautiful, because you've got that like.
And they're on the beach. They're standing like a dodgy beach on the sand hills. There's like a breeze, and they're like, and then of course it's too romantic.
That soundtrack's
the stink of dead crabs from this town is too romantic for these guys, and they have a kiss.
They kiss, and it's not a makeout. It's like it's another one of those Bold and the Beautiful romance kiss, like.
Yeah, but then they're like, do they immediately regret? She regrets it or something. She's like, we can't.
Yeah, she's just
we
like,
can't do this.
Oh no,
I have a boyfriend, Studs Axel McKenzie, big dick. And we cut back to the pub.
Yep.
Studs McKenzie's there, and he's having a go at skee ball. He's pretty wicked at that.
Yep. So TJ walks in, and Studs is like, "Where's Sarah at?"
And he's like, "I don't know. Maybe on the end of my dick. Have you checked the end of my dick?"
Oh, glorious.
He's like, "Where is it?" And he's like, I don't know.
And that's about it. So we cut to Sarah.
Yeah, that's it.
She's walking home. It's dark. It's cold, and Sarah is walking home alone.
He just basically asks, "Have you seen Sarah?" And he just says no.
No. Don't know what to talk about.
Cut to Sarah walking home, and a girl walks home at night.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of sounds happening, and she's starting. She's in this like emotional state of like she's starting to become scared, but also she's very upset because she knows she gone done fucked up.
Gone down.
Kissed another guy, which is a bit of a no-go.
And suddenly there's a light shine in her eyes. Could it be a mining torch of what's his name, Mr. Walden? Harry Walden. No, it's the sheriff. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry for scaring you. And then that's it.
They have a brief conversation. Now,
Sheriff, where is you, B?
He knows there is a killer on the loose. He knows that any one of these kids is going to die next. And what does he do?
Nothing.
He just leaves her.
The sheriff just basically doots around town, coming into every scene, but having no relevance. He's just like...
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he just leaves her alone.
We'll do Sheriff Watch of all the scenes from now on that he is completely useless in. Number one. Well, this is about the third one.
Yeah,
I mean, him finding the body is fine. That was a fine scene,
He was in there to find Mabel.
Anyhow, they cut back to the pub.
Yep.
And the gang's there. The whole gang's there. Everyone's there. Everyone's having fun. And then TJ's like, the dance is cancelled. And they're like, yeah, this is bullshit. And then they're like, hey, TJ has this great idea, which I thought was the worst idea. He goes, let's have a party in the mine.
Sure.
And I'm like, in the mine?
Yeah.
What he wanted to say is, why don't we have a party in the mine's rec room, which is not in the mine.
Yeah, so I'm guessing a lot
so
of
I thought,
miners...
why would you want to go to a cave?
Yeah, no. I would no.
And at this point, I was like, worst idea ever in my notes.
Yep.
And
the bartender there, he gives another warning. He's like, you hear about Mabel, heart attack my ass. You'll be sorry if you go down there.
It has to be, and then they're all like, shut up, dickhead.
They really start ragging on
they
it.
kind of, I think they all kind of just continue drinking, and then it cuts to a close up of the publican's face, and he says under his breath, assholes. I was just like, that's so good. So he's just like, you fucking asshole. And they were being assholes. Anyhow.
Exactly. So we cut now to
The bartender.
The
publican. It's after work, it must be. He's drunk.
he is. He's still
He
drinking.
is so angry at these kids. It has driven him to getting paro after work. He is like, you fucking cunt. I'll show you. I'll show you. Anyway, he breaks into the mining facility.
He does.
Where they're going to have their party. And he sets up a ragtag joke, which is basically he gets a mining...
He sets up an elaborate Ferris Bueller prank,
God,
too. It's fantastic.
They would have needed a bloody... It would have been like some sort of, expert engineer to come in and create this. He sets up a mining gear man. So he gets the mining gear, fills it up with something so it looks like a man, and then he sets it up in front of a door and then attaches this pulley system that when you open the door... The mining man's arm comes up holding a pickaxe. And it's just like... It actually looks pretty good. And so they're going to get...
He loves it as well.
Yeah, he loves
thinks this is fucking hilarious. He opens the door so many times, he's like...
Yeah, every time it comes up, he like... just thinking of the hilarity of these teenagers that he's going to show.
Yeah.
He is going to win. He is going to... he's going to have a point for old age. Young people 0.
Yep.
Old age 1,000 points.
Exactly. Meanwhile, at this point as well, I'd just like to point out that the chief of police rocks up to the mines. He basically rocks up to the gates, which are locked, and he jingles the gate and fucks off.
Yeah, and then he's like, ding.
That's
and
it.
There's another one. That's number 2 of useless scene with cop, and he leaves. Anyway, we cut back to old drunk dude with his prank. He's still just doing it, like opening the door, having a laugh, closing it, opening the door, having a laugh, closing it. Anyway, he decides that's enough.
Yeah.
He goes, this joke's too good. This joke's too good. And then he goes to leave and he's like, hang on. Maybe I need to do it one more time. One more time. I mean, I deserve this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old. I'm cranky. I deserve one more look at my hilarious prank.
So fucking funny.
So he opens the door and lo and behold...
Oh.
It's Harry there instead. So Harry would in that 1 second had taken that whole pulley system down?
Yes. He would have just been like, "Meh, it's done." And we get one of the best fucking scenes in this film.
So Harry somehow gets his pickaxe and hits this guy from up under his chin.
Mm-hmm.
And the pickaxe goes up under his jaw, into his face, and comes out of his eye socket, popping his eye out. But it shows all this. Once again, this is in that old footage, so this may be the added stuff in. And I was like, ugh.
This was fucking... Because his eyeball's kind of on the tip of the pickaxe as well. It's the little things that bring me joy.
Yeah, it's great. And it shows it a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, very good, very good. And then, so he falls over, the publican. And then Harry proceeds to, grab the pickaxe and drag him by his head across, the
gravel.
The grounds.
Yeah.
It looked great. I was like, oh shit.
I was watching this.
Why, and then I thought, this is why this film is around. If
Pretty
this didn't have this cool violence, it would have just disappeared. Because it would have been whereas in Halloween, stayed around because it had such good story and acting with no violence.
Yeah.
Where this would have just disappeared. The violence is what throws this film. And the people's reaction to the violence.
I did have an out loud reaction when I was watching this on my laptop with my headphones, and I was just like,
you balked?
I did, and I just got a strange look from my cat, so there's that. Cut to
February 14th, Valentine's Day.
No,
that hurt my voice. We cut to the sheriff and the mayor, and they just look concerned. They're like, uh-oh, Valentine's Day.
What's gonna happen? I think they find another note, don't they? But they don't actually read it.
Yeah, they don't read it.
They just kind of scrunch it up and put it in the pocket.
They just put it in, maybe it was just a picture of a drawing of a dick.
Yep. Mabel's sending out some dick pics.
Yeah, man, you'll keep that for later.
Anyway, they cut straight to...
the gang.
The whole fucking town. So basically everybody piles into this rec centre at the mine.
This is the party. The party's on.
Yep, it's party time. Valentine's
and
party.
I was like, they roll in. There's pool tables in there. There's jukeboxes. There's tables and chairs. It looks like an RSL.
Yeah.
It's wicked. They all come in with their eskies and their food and shit. There was a full fucking kitchen, as in a full mining kitchen with like an industrial kitchen, in another room. They start putting the music on. They start partying. And I was like, man, this is a good party. I would be like, you know, sometimes in films where they have a party, air quotes, and it's just like a couple of people, you know, hanging out. Like, oh, what was that one? Night of the Demons? They just have like the worst party.
It's just like 4 people at that party.
Yeah.
It's not a party.
But this is a party. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, cut to the police station.
Yep.
The sheriff, he's there again, and he gets a box of...
He gets a heart-shaped box
delivered to him of chocolates, and he's like, oh no.
He's having a freak out. He doesn't want to open it, and he's like, okay. And he unwraps it, he opens it, and it's candy. Oh, phew. Fucking thank God.
From Mabel.
Oh, be my Valentine, love Mabel. And this was about the point of it, because I assumed she was married to the mayor.
Do they have a delivery service? No, I thought she was just the secretary.
Yeah, I fucking don't know. Now I don't know, because now she might be having it off with the police. She might be having it off with the mayor. I don't know.
Maybe she's the town bike.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I did see a bike with the branding of Mabel on it. Anyhow, we cut back to the party. Yep. Everyone's getting loose.
Yep.
And then
everybody's there.
TJ comes in. He's like, yo, fucking party. But he's like, hang on, guys. Who busted the lock?
Yeah.
What? You know, I could have just opened that. You guys didn't have to bust in.
He's like, I had the keys.
I had the keys. You guys could have got... So they all just broke in, apparently.
Yeah.
We assume. And Sarah rocks up at the party. She waltzes in. I'm fucking the girl, fucking the guys. Anyhow, you know.
One of the characters.
Some cool guy, I called him.
Some cool guy. I called him Lurch. So Lurch and his very tiny girlfriend, they're going to head out if you wink, wink, catch my drift.
I thought that...
So they head out and then we get Skinny Tie Guy.
Skinny Tie Guy? He's just another rando.
He goes into the kitchen.
He goes into the kitchen and lo and behold, oh, sick. Someone's cooking... You know, fucking budget service station they're boiling hot dogs in a pot.
Yeah, they are boiling. And this is a huge pot of hot dogs. I'm like, yes, every party needs hot dogs.
I know.
I watched this film and I'm like, fuck, I could eat a hot dog.
Yeah, I could. As I said, I just wanted to be at this party.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, yeah, sick, hot dogs. He just decides to help cooking the hot. He's going to stir it up a bit and maybe sniff a hot dog. You know, just sniff a wang.
Yeah.
Sniff a wiener.
Meanwhile... Killer comes in, just grabs him by the back of the head, slams his face down into the boiling pot of hot dog water.
We see it from inside the pot.
I always love that.
Yeah, his face up.
Yep.
My favourite slamming head in a thing is in Jason X, where it's in the future and he slams the girl's face into the liquid nitrogen and we see it just freeze and then he takes it out and just slams it on the desk and her face just shatters.
Oh, so good.
That was a good one. That's a great kill, I reckon.
Yeah.
So that's all we see.
We do. We see the after effect where the face is kind of like looks a little bit boiled, but it's really, really poorly done. They kind of just put some
Aquadeer on him.
Yeah, I was going to say they put some
Aquadeer on his face and pulled it off a bit. Anyhow, he dead. We just needed to fill that in. We just needed some killing. Cut to the sheriff once again, back at the police station.
He's got a feeling.
He's like, hang on, what's that sound? That sounds like someone putting in a heart-shaped box out the front of my house, out the front of the thing. He goes out there and there's a whole bunch of wild dogs.
Yeah.
And these dogs...
This seemed really strange.
I think they got some dogs in to do this part, but I think the dogs went overboard. Did you see, he goes, get out of here, you dogs?
Yeah.
Because they are licking a heart-shaped box on the ground, which is, got blood dripping out of it, so the dogs are attracted to it.
Yeah.
But these dogs went way overboard with me. He walked out, and one of them stayed... Did you notice? It stayed there and kept curling its teeth at him like, He goes, get out of here, you dogs. And it just stayed there doing it to him. And he kind of, as the actor, I think there was fear in his eyes. He was like,
just go stand my ground.
and the dog kind of went out of shot and then ran back in again. Went for a while.
I didn't even notice this.
And then and I just reckon that was just not meant to happen. I reckon they had scare dogs and they just fucked up. I think it was lucky not to actually get attacked.
Yeah.
The dogs fuck off.
He opens up the box and we get another note.
Yeah.
You didn't stop the party. And then he reacts so perfectly.
What did he do?
He just stands there and he's like, what damn party? He's like, they've pulled the wool over my eyes. There's a party happening. I've got to go shut it down.
Yeah, but I think it was, what goddamn party?
Yeah.
I did. It's almost like he was hissy fitting to the killer. There is no party.
Yeah. He's like, but I said no.
I said that can't shut it down. I did. Anyway, now we cut back to the party.
Yep.
Sarah's boyfriend, what's his name? Studs McKenzie. He's getting a bit handy with her. He's getting a bit frisky, and she's like, I don't know. And then he's like, come on, baby. It's so romantic in the middle of this brightly lit room with neon lights with all our friends around us and music playing. I want to grab your tits and shit right in the middle of everyone. And then she's like, stop it. And then, of course, TJ comes in and goes, cool off.
Yeah. And they start having a bit of a brouhaha.
Because you know that every situation, gets, if you're ever in a heated situation, the best thing to say is cool off.
Yeah.
Because that helps every time.
It does. It really does.
I've seen that solve so many problems. If someone goes, oh, yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know about that before, but now I do.
They start doing the old, you fuck off from Sarah. No, you fuck off from Sarah. He goes, she's mine. No, she's mine. She's like, fuck off, you dudes. I ain't nobody's.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a strong, independent woman. You can't tell me what.
She bails from the party, and then boys were left feeling like dick faces.
Yeah. Well, Studs and TJ start fighting, and lo and behold,
no, they don't.
Moustache Man breaks it up.
They don't start fighting. Studs just punches TJ so many times. TJ misses every fight. TJ can't fight for shit. That's the reason why he hasn't gotten a fight till now. It's because he can't beat the Nazi master race.
Yeah, he's not really despite his kerchief and shockingly open shirt, he's not that.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
Clearly.
He's a brooder, not a duder. And yeah, as you said, Moustache Man comes in and, breaks him up again as his fatherly role that he is.
Yep. And Studs basically, he snatches a beer so hard.
Oh man, this is so good. Dramatically opens. No, he goes, fuck this shit. Yeah. He goes over to a beer, grabs it with gusto, and then looks at them and just opens it in the most dramatic way ever. And then just bails out the door.
Yeah, I've pretty much said he grabs a beer and overacts his way outside.
Yeah.
Because this was intensely good. I was just like, oh man, he's shitty.
Then TJ goes up to Sarah.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's cute. Hey. And then she's like,
No.
I'm fucked off it. Oh, you man, I'm lesbian. I'm gonna lick Patty's vagina. She doesn't do that.
Hey, she could have done worse. Patty was cute.
I know, Patty was the cutest. She's if you can imagine, she's blonde hair, blue eyes. She's very ABBA. She's like the ABBA girl, the blonde hair ABBA girl. Just imagine her.
Yep. Meanwhile, Goof Troop tries to lighten the mood by snorting his beer.
Yeah, Goof Troop. Oh, Screech McKenzie, Goof Troop. Hey, Joker, I call him. He's just like, fucking, I'm going to snort beer.
He's been weird the whole time. This is not how you get a girlfriend.
Also, TJ had been punched in the face twice, and he had nothing on his face. He was completely fine. Pretty good. He must be him. Maybe that's why he doesn't fight, because he's an X-Men, and he's just invulnerable.
Quite possibly. So we cut to Studs. He's outside. He's
also Sarah
down.
leaves because she's fucking fed up. She's like, you know what? You guys are fuck faces. I'm gonna go home and smoke a bowl.
Yeah, why not? Studs is outside. He's trying not to cry into his beer. He's sat down dramatically.
He's sitting on a reel of those big reels that wires on. He's just on its side.
He's just like
I'm not crying. I'm gonna drink my fucking
You're
beer.
crying. Yeah. Then we cut to Lurch.
He's having a shit night.
He's having a rough night. We cut to Lurch and his girlfriend. They're in the mine. They're making out.
Did they go to the mine?
Oh, well, they went somewhere in the mine.
I think they just went to another. They went somewhere that's not the party.
Yeah, so they're not
to get
in
a bit
the
of,
mine, but they're in an area where mining stuff.
Oh, is this where all the
they're in the shower
clothes thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the top of the mine. I think as they're coming out, they take off all their mining clothes. It's like the change room.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Because
there's
a shower in there.
It's an industrial as fuck shower room though.
Yeah.
This thing is rock walls and shit.
Yeah, so they're making out, and she's getting distracted by the clothes that are hanging up on the thing, and then she's making out again, and then she's like, you know what we need? We need beers.
Yeah, go get me some beers, random guy. And he's like, I am a random guy, and that's all I can do. I don't even have a penis. No. I can't even fuck you because I'm a Ken fucking doll.
At one point, though, she's like, oh, you know what we need? And he's like, oh, I've got one right here. And he pulls out a condom.
Franger?
Fucking Franger.
Pulls out a Franger. She goes, no, I meant
she's
beer,
like,
dickhead.
We need beers. And he's like, I'll go get beers.
Maybe she just wanted to fill the Franger with beers and throw it around.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyhow.
So he goes and basically leaves her alone. She's like, I'll come with you. And he's like, no. no.
No, stay
You
here.
stay
Get moist.
Yeah.
Moisten up while I'm away.
Yeah,
Just,
you stay.
And he goes in. He walks us into the kitchen. They've got the girls cooking the hot dogs now.
Mm-hmm. They're adding water to the hot dog pot.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
You're just mutants. He opens the fridge, which we see the corpse of the guy who got his hot dog faced, but no one notices him. He's down the bottom, and he grabs some beers and closes the fridge because he's too fucking cool. Because he's ready to fucking, he's ready to plow.
He's going.
I ain't gonna let no corpse ruin my fucking night. He doesn't see him, and then the hot dog girls also just pull out. Oh, what's this? Oh, there's a heart in here.
Yeah, they start freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, what is this?" It's a boiled heart, but I think Lurch says it's something.
It's a joke. Oh, they're pulling a prank on you. It's just a cow heart or some shit.
Goof Troops, he's out there,
Yeah, Goof Troop, fucking Joker. Doesn't care about women. All he cares about is having fun.
That's what it's all about.
And now we cut back to the girl waiting for her beers and her bonk. Mm-hmm. She's just sitting there like, just waiting for the bonk.
Could have been done by now.
Man,
could have been back at the party.
Could have been having a beer with my friends.
No. So she hears some sneaking sounds and she's like, oh, what am I hearing?
She hears the showers come on. She's like, oh shit. Is like my man gonna go in there and have a shower?
He's like, John, is that you? His name is John. I call him Lurch because he's fucking tall.
Then all the mining gear, like the mining clothes that are hung up from being, they hang them up because to keep them away from the dust.
Yeah.
They all start falling on it from the roof because they're hung up on like big strings. And she's like, "Oh my god, mining gear! How did you know that's what I hate the most?
It's
mining
my
gear.
one fear is mining clothes." So she's screaming and running through, and as she's sort of running back through, the final
bit of clothes that fall down
drops down, but it's the corpse of the bartender.
The bartender with his eyeball out, going, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Yep, I like this scene as well. And she turns, the killer's right there. He grabs her by the face, and he basically walks her towards the shower room. So he's got her heavily by the face, and it's just this backwards walk.
I didn't know what was going to happen to him. I thought, is he going to crush her face? Or
yeah, it's but he could have gone a few ways.
Is it a shower valve? Because these are industrial showers. So what they basically are is just a pipe that's sealed off with some holes in the end.
Yeah.
And so it's quite sharp and jagged. And he just slowly walks her onto this thing and puts it through her head.
Yeah.
A good slow kill is always
He impales her on the pipe. It looks good. The whole scene was good. And then it cuts straight to...
And then you see him turn on a valve. And then there's a hard cut to fucking Dude McDude Ranch. He's come back with his beers. And he's like, "Yo, babe, I got the beers." And then he hears a shower on. He's like, "Oh, ho, ho."
Yeah.
Getting a hot and steamy shower. Because everyone knows that having sex in the shower is the best idea.
He's like, "I love a soapy bottom."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hope it's like all my men that I shower with.
So he goes in and he immediately drops his beers.
He's like, "Oh, my God."
And he's just
this dude we should mention as well is the most... ranger dude.
He's very ginger.
He has short hair, but it's so orange. Anyhow, so he's just called Ginger.
Yeah, and he spies her, and we get this lovely pan up, and it's her, and all this water is just coming out of her mouth. So
she is the
she's
faucet.
now the shower.
So he takes off his clothes and has a shower.
Pretty much.
His reaction is the best.
Yeah.
He goes. He puts his hands on his head. Oh, it goes like that. And he just keeps going. He just, and then the shot ends with him panicking.
I love an overreaction.
Oh, man. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
His reaction is actually hilarious. It's the best one. Then we cut back to the sheriff driving.
Yes. He gets an urgent call from the asylum.
He gets to the party.
Yeah.
He's outside of the party, and then he gets a call, and they're like, "We need you." The asylum called. He goes, "Okay." He drives back.
He literally turns it.
Does he have the U-bolt?
He doesn't. So obviously he doesn't see that there's anyone there or a party happening. He just gets to the gates and he's just literally just turns it around.
Useless scene.
And drives
3/4/5 of this guy.
/ literally the whole character.
He drives off. Cut back to the party.
The girls have decided that they want to go down into the mine.
Yeah, as in the mine.
Why would you?
I don't know, man. It's kind of cool.
I mean, I guess...
this is totally something I would have done as a kid. We would have gone, let's go down the mine. We used to go to have parties in caves and shit all the time. Like, and the fact that there's a minecart which drives you down into it. Yeah, I would want to do that. And like, you know, they're like, and like, you know, so Moustache Man, Joker, Patty, and Selma. No, Patty and Sarah.
Yep.
They all go off into the mine, and then like, TJ comes out and goes, "Don't go in there. You're not allowed. No women allowed." I'm like, "Why are you abiding by the rules? You've broken and entered into this place."
Literally, just broken into this place.
And yeah, they go, "Fuck you, TJ. We're going."
Yeah, they're heading out. They don't care.
They get into the mine carts. They start cruising down. It's all automated. And I thought to myself, "Yeah, this looks fun." They're cruising down. That's the Midnight Meat Train, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyhow.
They get to the bottom and they're looking around and they're like, "Oh, well, what's down there?" And he's like, "Oh, this is the abandoned part of the mine." And they're like, "Okay, well, let's go have a look at that, because why not?"
Yeah, let's just keep going through the mines. Anyway, 2 randos. There's actually 2 randos as well.
Yes.
I forgot to mention them.
Yes, we shall call them couple kill fodder.
Yeah, there's two kill fighters with them. The 2 randos break off from the group and they go into a little rock room, and they start to get busy and frisky.
Yeah, they're just like, they kind of look at each other and they're like, "Oh, we're just going to go over here for 10
minutes." And everyone's like, "Wink, wink, we understand."
It's like, "Oh, yes.
You're going to need to shower that black soot off your dick and vag afterwards.
Fucking hell.
Anyhow, we cut back to the party again. There's a lot of cutbacks in this film.
Yeah, there is.
There's like shit going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyhow, this is when it all starts to fuck up. Dude, he's in the kitchen and he finds fucking hot dog guy's corpse.
Yeah, well, so the one of the blonde girls from the kitchen, she comes screaming out of the kitchen.
That's it.
Just as Lurch is screaming into the party. So then
Studs Ginger Man.
Studs goes into the kitchen, and he basically walks out and he's just like, "Dave's dead."
Yeah, without it.
Oh, okay.
And then Franger Lurch, he is just in the most overacted shock I've ever seen. He has snot running out of his nose. He is just like frozen. He walks in and goes, "She's dead. Dead." And then he kind of walks in and just rests his head against the chest of TJ.
Yeah. Well, you know, you
got to. It's
the deep V.
The kerchief.
You know,
and then, of course,
they're like, "Oh, well, we've got to call the
TJ's
cops."
just like, "Harry Walden's here. We got to get out of it. Everyone leave."
Yeah, well, he picks up the phone. He's like, "Phone lines are dead." Okay, and then everyone just like gets the fuck out.
Everyone just goes, "It's Harry Walden." There's no reason. There's no, you know what I mean?
You know, urban legends and whatnot. They're like, "Okay, where are the others?" "Oh, well, they've gone down the mine." He's like, "Oh, the fucking mines." Okay, so TJ and Studs, you know, we got to stay behind.
Suddenly they're pals. Suddenly they're like, you know, bros.
Yeah.
They're like, "We got to work together." Like, do they go down together in the elevator? One goes down in the elevator and one takes the other way.
Yeah, they've got a cunning plan.
They're like, I'll go down the shaft, you go down the mine elevator, and we'll find everyone and meet.
We'll meet in the middle. Okay, break.
No, the best part, before that. So they're like, basically they're in the party, everyone bails. TJ and Studs run out of the thing, and suddenly they're in their mining gear.
Yes.
They never changed. They just instantly, as they walk through the door, teleport into their mining gear, and then they have that scene where they both go down into the mines.
They got to,
they're best mates. It's the best. They're all going there. Anyway, cut back down to the mine. The gang. Now it's just Sarah, Moustache Man, and Patty.
And Goof Troops.
Sorry.
Yeah. So they're down there, and they Moustache Man plays a bit of a prank on the girls. He's talking about Harry Warden, and as he's doing it, young Goof Troop comes swinging from the railing and scares the girls.
Yeah, Goof Troop says, he's like, "I'm the Joker."
He's like, "This is funny.
I'm a midnight Joker." He just does a scare. That's all he does, this character. He just does scares. I think this is his 3rd scare, maybe?
I think so. They all of a sudden realise that the other couple are missing, which they don't. They know that they went. They know. But they're like, "Oh, they're still not back yet. Like, it's been 5 minutes. Like,
it's been 30 seconds.
We
see, and then we cut to CJ. We see that he's made it to the bottom of the elevator. Thank God. Cut back to the gang again. That's all it shows.
We get a POV of the killer
spying where everyone is at all times.
Yeah, we need to know. Yeah, we get a POV of the killer spying on the gang, and then we cut to the couple making out. This is the worst make-out session I've seen since the last worst make-out session I've seen in whatever film it was.
It just shows them making out.
Yeah.
For like 10 seconds and then cuts back.
Yep.
It's just like, remember these guys?
Yeah.
They're still kissing.
That's what they're doing. You know, Moustache Man, he's leading them back to the cart. It's like, it's time to go, guys. Like, we've been down here long enough. This isn't safe. Let's go.
And suddenly, someone, they hear in the distance, someone is, it shows them.
Yeah.
So you see Harry.
Yep.
He's standing there smashing the light globes with his pickaxe, to darken the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
And
they're like, uh-oh, someone's smashing globes. And then we just see it's him. Like, it's weird.
It's like, that's him. He's coming. So the gang decide, okay,
let's bail.
We got to get the others and we got to get the fuck out of here. So Lurch and, meanwhile, we cut back to Lurch and the gang, the rest of the gang that's left. They've gone off to find the chief. And they're like, Harry, he's at the mine. You got to go to the mine. And the chief calls in. He's like, right, we need reinforcements. So he's on the phone. He's like, call the fire brigade, call the National Guard, call the Coast Guard, call everyone. Everyone get to the mine. At this point, I was like, where the fuck is the mayor? He just disappears from the movie.
No, he comes back, though.
He does come back, but for a huge chunk of it, he's just gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so TJ finds them. We cut back to the mine. TJ, he's found them. He's like, we got to get out. Harry Warden's here. It's the same conversation. But, the makeout couple, we've got to go get them. So we're still playing this game of, we know where they are. We've just got to go fucking get them. Goof Troop gets left with the two girls, Patty and Sarah, and TJ and Moustache head off to find people. Do they separate? Does TJ and Moustache Man separate?
Yes.
Yes.
For some reason.
Yes, because Moustache Man finds the couple.
Yeah, so Moustache Man goes to look for the couple and that, and he finds them with a giant screw, a drill piece.
Yeah, they've been drilled.
They got screwed.
Yeah, they did. They
got screwed together. So they have like a giant mining drill piece. Like, he's on top of her. They're screwed together. They're having a screw. The irony. Is that irony? Who knows?
So meanwhile, as Moustache Man is having his,
he's like, fuck,
he's having his reaction moment, we see the killer loading up a nail gun.
Yeah, well, it's a one-shot nail gun.
Yeah.
Like, big nails as well. We're talking like nails that are like...
that big.
How long is that? That's like 20 centimeters long.
Yeah.
A big fucking nail.
They're fucking huge.
He walks up to Moustache Man.
And just nails him.
Yeah, puts it against his temple and just nails him into it. It's still sticking out about a centimeter.
Yeah.
But you've got a good length in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill him.
No, it doesn't.
Do you know why? Moustache Man is fucking cool.
He is.
So he's just like, oh, fuck, I've just been nailed in the temple.
He shakes it off.
He
He's
shakes
just
it
like,
off. He's like, oh, well, until it kills, like, oh, shit. Slowly loads it up again. I like that it showed... He's been fucking shot in the temple. It shows us, like, Moustache Man's vision, and it's all blurry. And that actually tweaked. I was like, oh, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that it's in his brain that's fucked up his eyes, but he's still alive. Gives Harry time to reload the gun again, put it against his forehead, and just fires another one straight into him and gives him, like, an Indian bindi.
Yep.
And he's just like, still shrugs it off. He's like, oh, shit.
He's just like,
he doesn't die. You can't kill Moustache Man.
No.
Literally.
No, he's all the power is in his moustache.
Anyhow, Harry just leaves him, and Moustache Man just stumbles out of the room.
Yeah.
All pinheaded up.
Yeah. He stumbles back onto Goof Troop and the girls, and this is the moment where he falls down dead.
Yeah, he's just like, I made it. He doesn't say anything. He just falls onto them. They grab him. He's like,
He's like, Elizabeth. No. At this point, Patty, she's beside herself. She's on top of him. She's screaming. She's carrying on. Sarah and Goof Troop are like,
we got to bail.
We've got to get the fuck out of here. The killer is literally coming. They're fucked. We've got to go. Goof Troop, he just, he's like, well, you ladies aren't what I want. I'm going to follow the jokes over here. And he leaves them. He runs off. And you just see that the killer just immediately makes a beeline towards him. Patty's still being absolutely hysterical. So Sarah decides to slap some sense into her. That's
she's
what
like,
you do.
oh my God, where am I?
She's like, I apologize for my hysteria. I am okay now.
And then Studs rocks up.
Studs rocks up. He gets the girls and he starts leading them towards
At this point, Studs
cage.
hadn't been with them. He's like, I'm here.
He was off somewhere else.
I think he scares them. like, because he's in the mining gear at
Yeah.
first, and they're
Yeah, of
oh,
course.
it's you, Studs.
Yeah. So they scare. Patty's being an absolute fucking pill
I've
at this
written
point.
here, shut up, Patty, in my notes.
Yep. She's essentially the person that's going to get them all killed.
Yeah, and-
she's hysterical. She's not listening. She's like, I can't leave him. I don't want to go. I can't climb a ladder. I can't do this thing.
She's like, he takes him to the elevator. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't. The elevator doesn't work.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, don't worry. There is actually a ladder. Oh no, first so they're like, the elevator doesn't work, and then they're like, oh, don't worry. I know there's a ladder somewhere over here. But
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, we can hear the killer.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Wait, so like, Studs gets a big 2x4, waits around the corner, slams it into the killer. Of course, it's not the killer. It's TJ. And then
Oh,
TJ just
no.
shrugs that off. He's like, hey, what are you doing? Slamming me in the belly with a giant bit of wood.
That's right. He's like, I saw you through the hole in the wall. I knew it was you. Fucker.
And then cut to the sheriff. Rocking up at the mine in his car. And he's like, I'm at the mine.
It's like, I'm here. I'm going to go down there and
No.
I'm going to save these kids.
He's got a gun. He pulls out his big revolver. He's like, I'm here. I've got a gun. I know Harry's here. I know he's here. Where am I?
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't know how to even work. Like, he goes up to all these doors. They're locked. He goes,
Yeah.
Where am I going? And yeah, end of scene.
Yeah. He's like, I can't get into the mine.
Number 6, useless scene of the sheriff not doing it.
That's right. So the gang they get to they get to the cage for the elevator to go up, and fuck, it's not working. It's been smashed. What a fucking coincidence.
And where is Joker at this
He's
time?
gone.
He's
fucked up.
let's forget about him. He ran
He's
off.
fucked up.
He's a coward.
He is. So they're like, oh well, the only way we can
Because
get out
Harry
is
has
to climb
smashed
the
the
ladder.
elevator controls.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they start climbing a ladder.
Yeah, they go, how are we going to get out? There's no way out. Let's just climb the ladder, which is right conveniently next to the elevator, which we could have just taken in the first place.
Yeah.
And then Patty's just like, oh, ladders, I don't understand
I
how
don't like
they work.
heights. I can't climb them. Both Sarah and Patty start climbing the ladder with their heels on. I would have probably taken my shoes off.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never worn heels that much.
Well, I've never climbed a ladder in heels. Probably never will.
I've never going to climb a mine ladder in heels.
Yeah. So, they're climbing and
Oh
Patty,
man, this scene of the ladder climbing, it went for so long. It's
It
like that
goes for so
scene in
long.
Metal Gear Solid where he climbs the ladder and it's so long the ladder that a song comes in and a whole song plays while you climb a ladder.
I've never played that game, but I can
It's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Yeah, it's known as a hilarious scene, like a
Okay.
weird Kojima. But I got the vibe. They're just climbing this ladder for so long.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden,
Ooh, all of a sudden.
all the whole time Patty is complaining.
Yeah, she just won't fucking shut. I would have probably at this point just kind of kicked her down the ladder.
And then all of a sudden, Joker's body falls from the top with a noose on it, like he's being
Yeah.
hung. But as the tension of it, getting him stopping, it pops his head off. But the head stays on the noose, and the body falls down. It's past everyone, so everyone gets covered in blood in this scene. Did you notice?
Yes.
And we see this body thump down onto the ground. And then we cut back to them on the ladder, all freaking out, all covered in blood. The head is still there, hanging on the rope of Joker, like, with all bits of flesh ripped
This
off.
was really good because no movie have I ever seen that I can vaguely remember right at this moment when anyone gets hanged,
Hung.
whatever,
Usually they just stay there.
yeah,
Yeah, but this was
it's a
like...
whole body, but his fucking head gets cut off.
It gets popped off
Yeah.
from the force of the noose. And, like... It was very cool because in most movies it will just be the surprise is the body falling down, but this was way worse.
Yeah, this was good.
This was a great, and once again it was that weird stock footage where I reckon a lot
Yeah.
of these shots wouldn't have been in it because some of them are so graphic, and a lot of you can see a lot of the gore, and you're like, fuck yeah.
Gore. So they climb back down the ladder because obviously the killer's up the top.
They climb down the ladder in 1 second.
Yes.
After 5 minutes of climbing it, and they take 4 seconds to get off of it. Why didn't they climb to the top?
'Cause
Why
the,
climb back down?
the killer's up there.
But was he?
Well, because that's where Goofs came from. So I don't
They
know.
all fucking climb back down the ladder.
Yeah. Studs is now claiming that he knows a shortcut to where the other carts are so that they're going to go follow him. But you got to go through a bunch of water.
Yeah, there's an underground pools, which are in mine because they would have been there.
Yeah.
Because it's actually in mine. So they go through there, and Studs, he lingers behind. He goes, I'll make sure no one's following us. You guys go ahead, and then I'll catch up. And I'm like, stupid plan. Anyhow, off camera we hear, "Whoa!"
Yeah, we hear this crashing and, they head back and he's fallen in the water.
We just see like his headlight is in the water. He goes, we can't go there. We can't get him out. That's a 60-foot deep pool. And I'm like, well, why? We can just see the lights there.
Yeah, he's still around, clearly. So they're just pretty much... And then TJ's basically like, nah, I can't get him. He's dead. That's fine.
Yeah. And then TJ's like, you know what? Let's split up. You girls stay here. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, why not? Like, there's no reason for you to do that. Anyhow.
They've never been into the mines until this moment, so they don't know their way around. But no, you go explore. I'll catch you. I'll catch you in a minute. Which
doesn't work out because straight away, Harry jumps out with his pickaxe and pickaxes Patty in the stomach. Like, so she just gets thonked. Like, Sarah's like, oh, fuck. Sarah just runs off. How good, did you notice this? So Sarah's like, whoa! She runs out of shot. The next shot is a cut to her, and she's just casually walking.
Yeah.
As if it hasn't happened yet.
Nothing's happened.
Yeah.
She fucks off real quick.
I think this shot was actually meant for another time, and they've just popped it. Because she is not panicked. She's just like walking around, looking around all of a sudden. Like, not scared at all. Like, you just witnessed the murder of your friend, but he's like, yes, in a mine.
Now I'm walking, and I'm walking, and I'm walking.
Yeah. Then we cut to the police. Finally.
Backup has arrived.
Backup has come. And not just backup, the whole fucking town has rocked up.
Yeah.
They have pitchforks. They have flaming clubs. They have like an ogre getting on chains.
Yeah, they've got a Frankenstein back there. Like, we just picked this guy up, but we heard you guys were mobbing, so we're here now.
They have a battering ram. They have an army. It's the whole town with like weapons and shit. The mayor's there. He's like, I'm the mayor. I need to be here as well.
Yep.
I don't understand.
Well, it's actually his mine.
Yeah, it's my mine.
The mayor owns the mine, so we cut back.
These are quite inconsequential. All these people as well. Yeah. Like.
So Sarah's back in the mine. She's kind of not given up, but she's having a bit of a cry. She's like, I'm alone in the mine and everyone's dead.
And then TJ rocks up.
Sneaks up on her.
And at this point, I got into this point in the film where I was fine. And then I realised, hang on, are all these people walking off for weird reasons because I'm supposed to think they're the killer?
Yes.
But there's no point because it's Harry.
Well, this is the thing. So when this film came out, this was before the, can you guess who the killer is kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So we were told that it's this guy. It is this guy. We are not...
We're not trying to work it out. Yeah. No. I'm just like, oh. And then I thought back to all these scenes. Like, were these scenes setting up red herrings?
Yes.
Or hypothetical situations where it could be the killer. And that's why all these weird scenes were happening that seemed to be pointless with the sheriff and all stuff like that. Is because you're like... I think they tried to make every scene with a situation where one of the characters could have been the killer by doing... And I'm like, well, I never got that because it's just Harry.
And if we'd have watched that... If we'd have seen this film in 1981 when this whole slasher genre was just fresh and new, we wouldn't think that. We'd just be like, why are they going off and doing these things? But now we've seen it all. We know all the tropes, everything. It's there. It's happening. We know what's going on.
And now we see, so now it cuts to back to the gang, back to the crowd. What are they called? Mob?
The mob.
The mob. They've all got mob mentality. They're all running down the...
Yeah, so the chief has led a cavalcade of people into the mine. But so they're all walking down the side of the mine.
Yeah, I like it because they're all small thing. They'll have to go single file. They're like, single file mob. It's a very long mob.
Don't forget to social distance.
It's like they're playing Snake.
While you're doing it, yeah. We cut back to TJ and Sarah. The killer jumps out of nowhere and he's heading towards them. So they decide, here's the cart. We're just going to jump on the cart and hope that the killer doesn't. Yeah,
I like it because they start the mine cart up. It's like got 4 carriages. They start it up. It's walking pace. This thing goes.
Yes.
So I'm like, you could have just ran up the mine shaft.
Yeah.
Quicker. Way quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, God, we're safe in the very slow mine cart. And the killer just walks up and jumps onto the back carriage. And like, oh my God, it's like the slowest train like chase ever.
But, which is great because that leads us to now one of those on top of the train type battle scenes.
You think, but they just fall straight off. And then...
It's also really badly done. So, there's no real, it's kind of like a, Yeah. Really, it's like really slow paced. Really
and it's so slow that like Harry and the killer are battling. They Harry's got like his pickaxe. TJ now has a shovel. They're kind of like sword battling, and like they fall off, and then Sarah just casually gets off the car.
Yeah, she's just like, whoop.
I'm like, why did she get off? Stay on. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
How are you going to help?
So at this point, I think the cavalcade of people, you can start seeing
the
them
minecart.
down.
So the minecart is going up out of shot, and that's gone. And then we see the cavalcade of like the single file people coming down the mob, and that you can see the minecart is there. So you're like, okay, they're like 10 meters away.
They're pretty close. Yeah, it's fine.
And then we cut back to them like fighting really slow with their shovel and pickaxe, and the worst lightsaber scene in the world.
Yes. And they head into a different sort of a tunnel, which has a big old danger. Keep out, unsafe. Yep. And they're in there and they're having a battle out. They're still battling. At this point, they're taking out support beams all over the fucking place.
Yeah, they're hitting into things with crumbling rocks are coming down. It's all starting to come together. TJ's being the hero, fending off these pickaxe attacks with a shovel while deflecting them. So he makes Harry, knock out another supporting structure, supporting beam. So
it all seems like it's going to come crashing down at some point. Sarah clocks Harry and he gets his axe stuck.
Into the roof or somewhere?
It gets stuck somewhere.
And then she jumps up.
But it's fine because he's got a knife.
Yeah, he pulls out a knife. But then doesn't Sarah... She jumps onto him.
Yep.
And she grabs him and pulls off his mask.
Yep.
Revealing that the killer is...
Studs McKenzie!
Studs McKenzie, jealous boyfriend, is actually the killer. And they're like, Axel... Why? And then we get this best flashback from the very start of the film. You may have remembered in a previous flashback, we saw the killer killing a random dude in a bedroom by pickaxing him in the chest, which we mentioned. Anyhow, we see this same kill again, but then it zooms over and shows little tiny Axel as a child hiding under the bed with blood splattered all his face from his father. And then we see... Harry, the real Harry, pulling out his dad's heart, and then it cuts to a shot of Axel just under the bed with his dad's blood all over his face, sucking his thumb in the way, and like dun dun dun, Shyamalana, twist. The whole time it was Axel.
Oh God, not Axel. Right.
And then suddenly after that whole big reveal,
it collapses.
The mine collapses onto Axel. TJ and Sarah narrowly get out of the room.
Yeah.
The whole sheriff and his town rock up and they're like, how are you? And he's like, we're cool. He's back there.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, let's go dig him out.
Yeah. So then they go and it's like, that one by one rock at a time, kind of leading it out. And then Sarah decides, nah, fuck this shit. I got to go back.
Yeah, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I got to go see him.
Yeah.
I got to go see him. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Anyhow, they uncover Axel's arm.
We know it's Axel's arm because he's got a Band-Aid from where he stabbed himself playing the knife
and his mood ring.
Yeah. His mood ring.
He's got a mood ring on. And she like grabs, and like Sarah comes in, pushes all these burly miners out the way and goes, oh, Axel's hand, Axel's arm. She goes to touch it and of course her hand grabs her.
Yep.
And then we see a shot from the other side of where Axel is, and he is using the knife he had to cut off his own arm.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool. It's showing it. It's all gory. And he wrenches his own arm off, which is still grabbing onto her.
Yeah.
She kind of, the arm gives away, and she, like, comes up with the arm still grabbing her. And she's like, oh, my God. There's, like, a little window that everyone can see now. Axel, this is the best scene ever. He's running off into the mine with one arm going... I'll get you, my pretties. And
pretty much. He's like, Valentines, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, he sings a song and he's like, Harry killed us all, and now I'm gonna kill you all. He has gone stark fucking raving nuts. He runs into the mine, into the darkness, into the sequel that they never made.
No.
Everyone just fucking is like gobsmacked. They don't even try and stop him. They're just like, holy shit.
You do you, boo.
Like, he is fucked. Good. That's what they're all like. They just couldn't believe it. He's singing along. Anyhow,
Done.
everyone watches him go off into the distance. The end.
Yeah, done.
Like, so it's just basically Harry, armless, disarm. I don't know. Final thoughts, Jen? That is the end. That's cut to the end.
That's done.
Then the credits comes up with this crazy cool, like, Simon and Garfunkel kind of music comes up. Mine actually cut out halfway through the...
Yeah, same.
the music just stopped.
Yeah.
Of, I don't know what
Licensing. Anyway.
Final thoughts, Jen?
This was a lot of fun. Like, it was, we had a few off-screen kills that would have been really good to see, but what we did get to see was awesome.
If it did have all those gore bits that were on the different film stock edited out, this would be the shittest film.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, we got all these really good... We might not have seen Mabel die, but we got to see the aftermath, which was, I think, was fantastic.
That's true. But, like, you wouldn't have seen the head pop off, because that was all in that as well.
Yeah.
So... There was, if that is true, if those are all the scenes that were cut out, which they might not be, they might have just chose that film stock thinking it might have covered up the gore a bit more because it was grainier and it was supposed to be a weird feeling.
Quite possibly. Who knows? It's very similar to Friday the 13th. I wasn't really given a chance to learn the characters' names until the end, but I also really didn't care.
I mean, it got very dramatic in the middle.
It did.
That was kind of funny. Everyone, the overacting of the death made it worth watching.
Yes.
If you're going to watch it, although it started great, but that mining bit at the end, I got fucking so bored of people just running around in a mine. It felt like it went for like 2 hours in the mine. Yeah,
I do feel that with a lot of the older films, they haven't quite necessarily honed the filmmaking, so there is a lot of like pointless things.
Yeah. I thought the deaths were super creative.
Yeah. No, I liked it.
Apart from Patty's, which was boring as shit, which you never even see it. You didn't even see it. Like,
no.
Like, maybe they had a vibe that you can't show gore on women.
Possibly.
Because there was no gore on any of the women you saw. There was no kill scenes for any of the women.
Yeah.
The deaths were super creative. That's it, really. The characters were interesting.
Yeah.
Like, they seemed cool. Like, they
Man.
had a story. The whole TJ, I suppose it kind of worked out in the end that the whole time he was killing everyone. It's kind of weird. I wonder if you could go back and find, like, a fuck up. No, I think it was all right. Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a C. It is a bit of a classic that's worth a watch. It is also a bit of fun and dumb.
I gave it a C-.
C-.
Which is a new thing. It's a classic. So the minuses are buts.
Yeah, okay.
Classic worth a watch, but I will not watch this again. So it's worth watching once.
Yeah.
Worth watching once. Maybe that should be one of our new thing. A classic worth watching once. Well,
I think it falls under that category of it's now up there with, all of these other like really popular films of the day. And, if you're a fan of horror, it's something that you've got to at least give a go.
Nice.
It's kind of like when you watch The Godfather because it's one of those films
Never seen
you have
any
to
of them.
watch. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, well, I've just never seen any of them because I just don't like crime.
No.
I just don't like crime because I know too many people I've met through my life who think crime is cool.
Yeah.
And they like want to be organised crime, and I think this has jaded me. I'm just like, nah, I'd rather not even have any of that shit.
No, fair.
In my life, if you will. Yeah. Is it my turn to pick?
It is, Dan. What are you picking?
That's too heavy. I'm gonna go Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad. We may have talked about it before.
Yes.
But we're actually, because originally when we had this podcast, oh my God, Siri keeps going off.
She needs to put in her 2 cents.
What did she find on the web?
I don't know.
Looked up Monster Squad.
Thanks, Siri.
No, don't say her name. Monster Squad. We've changed the format of the podcast, and now we actually do a whole film where I think we just lightly talked about it before. So we're probably going to go back on some of those lightly ones we did and do a full critique. Yeah,
I've got a couple from that time that I've got on the list. Like, I really want you to watch Slumber Party Massacre 2. So
I can see that's coming up.
It is.
So Monster Squad, for those who don't know it, it is basically a horror version of Goonies, if you will. It's got a really good group of kids. You know that like Stand By Me vibe, Goonies vibe. It's a bunch of kids and all this shit happens. And it's I'm not going to get into it. Nope. We will get so deep into it.
Yes.
It'll be ridiculous.
Fantastic. Okay, guys. You've been listening to TerrorVision Horror Podcast with Dan and Jennifer. We are available on all major podcasting services and also on the YouTubes. But no matter where you choose to consume us, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a review, and share with all your friends. I'd just like to now maybe shout out to a few people I know who do listen to us. Bryn, Dion, Sam. I know that you listen to us. Give us a share on your pages.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. Peer pressure.
I think as well we will do a thing, if you guys are listening to the end, that if you share any of our stuff on TerrorVision, we will do a shout out at the end of the episode to your name.
Yeah.
So, if you share anything on Facebook or Instagram, can you share on Instagram?
You can. Actually,
us?
Adam Gillespie.
Adam Gillespie? Let's do
Yes.
a shout out to him as well.
Yeah, no, he tagged us in something, a drawing that he'd done last year for the Child's Play film.
Yeah, I loved it.
And he tagged us in that. So that was really cool.
So, yeah, if you tag us in anything, we'll give you a shout out at the end of the episode. Because that's, tag us in there.
Yes, thanks, guys. We are also available. We have Instagram at TerrorVision Pod, which we will keep you up to date with upcoming episodes, trivia, and, of course, memes that are definitely 3 years old by now. We also have an email, terrorvisionpod@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us to watch or discuss. And our opening and closing music is Void Swell by Sister Wife.
Nice. And, you can catch me at Greenlight Comics or at the Warhammer Shop. No, not at the Warhammer Shop. Greenlight Comics at Adelaide, 18 Stevens Place. Come down there. It's a comic shop that I own, co-own and run. And co-run.
Co-run.
Or whatever they call it.
Co-run.
And
run.
and until next week, may all your dreams
be nightmares. Be nightmares.